Good evening, I'm Prasad and this is KiniNews. Last time I checked, the MCO was still in place, but some people are still finding it hard to understand the rather simple SOPs. Social visits and gatherings are not allowed, dining-ins not allowed. But what if your friend owns a restaurant? Deputy Youth and Sports Minister Wan Fayhsal Ahmad Kamal has denied spending an hour dining in at his friend's restaurant. The speculation arose after restaurant proprietor Megat di Shariman claimed that Wan Fayhsal spent an hour at his restaurant. But what could anyone be doing at a restaurant for an hour, if not dining in? According to Megat, he and Wan Fayhsal spoke at length on the plight of the Palestinians when the Bersatu youth leader dropped by. On Twitter today, Wan Fayhsal explained that he only spent 15 minutes talking to Megat, the time it took the restaurant to prepare his nasi goreng kambing, which he described as delicious. However, contradicting Wan Fayhsal's 15-minute time frame, Megat said Wan Fayhsal spent an hour at the restaurant discussing the Palestinian-Israel conflict. With the contradicting time frames given, some netizens began to speculate on the reasons behind why a takeaway would take 1 hour to prepare. While Wan Fayhsal maintained that he only spent 15 minutes at the restaurant, he welcomed a probe by the police. He said the authorities could contact his office and obtain the CCTV recordings from the restaurant. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, netizens have been vigilantly policing well-known personalities for breaching health protocols. There are numerous allegations that rules tend to be more punitive on normal folks compared to VIPs. If you're an employer in Selangor, you may be able to expedite the vaccination process for your workers by simply buying it. Selangor Executive Councillor for Public Health, Dr. Siti Maria Mahmud, revealed on Facebook that companies can register to procure the vaccines via the Selangor app. She said the newly available facility will allow employers in the state to immunize their workers in an effort to curb the spread of the virus. However, as of now, the Selangor website and app does not clarify which vaccine will be given out. Meanwhile, she also denied a viral message on social media which claimed that 500,000 Sinovac vaccine doses are to be made available to residents in the state. She stressed that all official statements on vaccine policies can be issued only by Menteri Besar Amiruddin Syari or herself, and urged the public to obtain proper and accurate information through the following Facebook pages: Amiruddin Syari, Siti Maria, Selangor Task Force COVID-19 and Media Selangor. In February, Siti Maria had announced that high-risk workers in the state would be among those to be prioritized for inoculation with the doses bought by their employers. She said the group would include foreign workers. The Selangor government had previously announced the allocation of some 100 million ringgit to help expedite the national immunization program. Malaysiakini has contacted Siti Maria for more details on the program to allow employers to buy vaccines. Former Prime Minister Najib has been a prominent critic of Putrajaya's handling of the pandemic, and now he has more suggestions for the PN government. But before that, if you'd like to see more content like this, click the link in the description and become a contributor.
Former Prime Minister Najib has urged Putrajaya to impose a 14-day quarantine rule on all international arrivals as more infectious variants of COVID-19 are discovered. The 2-week rule currently only applies to those arriving from 39 countries where COVID-19 variants of concern have been detected. Indian arrivals are quarantined for 21 days. Travellers from other countries must quarantine for 10 days if they test negative on arrival. If travellers test negative on an RT-PCR test taken within 72 hours before arrival, they must self-isolate for 7 days. In a Facebook post today, Najib stressed that the COVID-19 situation in Malaysia is now critical. He said he was very concerned about the loose 7-day quarantine that the government is still giving to nations that are not on that 40-country list. Meanwhile, 4 states have registered infectivity levels above 1.2, far surpassing the national average and indicating that the COVID-19 situation is continuing to worsen. The COVID-19 infectivity rate is measured by its effective reproduction number, R0, and R0 above 1 indicates a growing outbreak. As of May 17, the states with the highest RT were Perak, Kedah, Terengganu and Pahang.
2 Malaysiakini journalists spent some time in Bukit Aman today, assisting the police in the case involving a Ganapati.
Two Malaysiakini journalists were called by the police today to give their statement over 3 articles published by the news portal relating to the death of A. Ganapati, who died while being treated in hospital after being arrested by the police in February. Malaysiakini sub-editors Rusniza Mahat and AD Asri Abdullah arrived at the Bukit Aman Police Headquarters in the capital at 11 am together with lawyer Ki Hui. Malaysiakini reporter B. Nandakumar was also called to assist in the investigation but was unable to attend as he is under COVID-19 quarantine. Their statements were recorded by Inspector Sharil Muhammad and Inspector Nazir Abu Hassan from the Bukit Aman Classified Crimes Investigation Unit for about an hour. It is understood that the case is being investigated under Section 505B of the Penal Code over the spread of rumours that can cause fear and alarm to the public, which could induce a person to commit an offence against the state or to public peace. Malaysiakini also understands that the police report was launched by an investigating officer who is handling the investigation into Ganapati's death. On March 11, the mother of the deceased S. Tanalachmi, 60, launched a report at the Gombak District Police Headquarters regarding the allegation that her son was beaten while in custody. She claimed to have been contacted by a policeman on March 8 who informed her that her son had been released and treated at the Intensive Care Unit ICU of Selayang Hospital. Ganapati died at the hospital on April 18. On April 30, Gombak District Police Chief Arifai Tarawi in a press conference said the initial investigation found that Ganapati had never complained of being beaten by the police, either to the magistrate or the medical officer who treated him. However, Arifai said the investigation was still ongoing and investigation papers would be sent to the Deputy Public Prosecutor's Office.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 figures. Maybe this will convince you to take those SOPs seriously. This includes you, Wan Fayhsal.
The Health Ministry reported 4,865 new COVID-19 cases in the past 24 hours. With the number of new cases today, the number of cumulative cases in the country has shot up to 479,421. In a Twitter post today, Health Director General Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said Selangor continues to record the highest number of cases with 1,743. An increase compared to the 1,650 new cases reported in the state yesterday. Selangor is followed by Sarawak with 512 new cases. Meanwhile, Kuala Lumpur reported 477 cases, followed by Johor and Kelantan at 407 and 406 respectively. In a separate development, Malaysian Medical Association MMA President Dr. Subramaniam Munyandi says his group is concerned over the quality of some of the RTK antigen test kits available in the market and wants the Health Ministry to conduct an immediate audit. He said there are some 17 RTK antigen test kits that have been approved by the Medical Device Authority (MDA), but not all have been of acceptable quality. He added that the MMA has been receiving complaints from a number of practitioners over some of the RTK antigen test kits used for COVID-19 screening, as some of these kits have failed in detecting positive cases.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to Malaysiakini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.